Hey guys, welcome back. So this is the first of many reviews, and if you can't already tell by my outfit, I am going to be reviewing Riverdale today. So I'm really excited about that. So if you want to hear my review on season 1 of Riverdale, keep on watching. Alright, so I have watched Riverdale before. I watched season 1 when it first aired, like, gosh, 3 or 4 years ago? That's crazy. And I really enjoyed season 1, and then I started watching like half of season 2, and then I just dropped it because I didn't have as much interest. So I rewatched season 1, I'm working my way through the series, and even though I've watched it before, I remembered like nothing of it. I remembered the beginning, the plot, and like the end. And that's it. So I wrote a ton of notes down, so I guess we'll go through my likes and dislikes and then tell you what I think overall of season 1. Just to show you guys, this is my notebook full of likes and dislikes for season 1. It looks like a lot, it's really not, I promise. So before I start it, I would like you guys to know that this will contain spoilers for season 1 if you have not seen it, because I'm going to be reviewing what I like and what I don't like, and in order to do that, I will have to go into detail. Oh well. So Riverdale is a story about a boy named Jason Blossom who actually gets murdered, and it's about the mystery of his death. And then as you get going in the series, you find out there's actually more to the town than you think. There's more secrets, more lies, more everything. So to begin with, I'm going to go down through my likes. First on here I have, it's based off of the characters from the Archie comics. So when I was little, I used to love the Archie comics all the time. You know, you'd pick up a newspaper and there's like a little snippet from like the comics. There's also books about them everywhere. And I thought they were adorable. I loved their style. I loved everything about it. So I really like how it's based off them, you know, Archie and Veronica and Betty, who I am dressed like just for the heck of it, Jughead and everything. So I think that is super cool, and that is just like, it makes the child in me just freak out. I really like the narration in it, and it's kind of like laid out as a book, so each episode is called chapter blank, so like chapter 1, and then this is what the episode is called. But the narration is by Jughead, who is actually writing a novel about the murder of Jason, and like how it all went and all the different sides of the story and from beginning to end, which I think is super cool, and I really like narration in that sense. Usually I don't really like narration, but the way it's done in this I think is really good, because he's writing a story. You're gonna see what you're gonna hear what he's writing, so I think that is super cool how it's just like narrating through his words, how he's writing them down. So I think that is super unique. Also, Jughead is played by Cole Sprouse, which is a huge part of my childhood. I grew up with Sweet Life of Zack and Cody and Sweet Life on Deck, and when I saw that it was Cole Sprouse, I was like, whoa, like I was so excited about it the first time I ever watched it, and I think it's just super cool. It's just like, oh my gosh, there is Cody. I really like the murder mystery approach. That's not something, I mean, you see murder mysteries all the time in modern TV shows, etc. But the way they did this one, I'm not really sure why I like it so much. I think it's just because in the beginning it starts with, here's the death of Jason Blossom, and it really grabs your attention, and you know nothing about the murder. And you go through this story learning more details about it and more about the murder, just like all the other characters in the show, which I think is really cool. It makes you feel like you're engaged in it, makes you feel like you're a part of the show, so I think that is done really well. I really liked the love triangle between Betty, Veronica, and Archie, especially at the beginning, because I honestly have gone through something similar where I've been in Betty's place, so I just like, it's something so common that I think it's stereotypical, but the way it's done to show, like, to reflect the way that actually happens in real life. So I think that is done really well. I really liked the Josie and the Pussycats in it. I think the three of them are beautiful singers, and they do so well. When I was little, my mom introduced me to Josie and the Pussycats, the cartoon, and I remember I used to sit down in front of our old computer, pop in the CD, and just sit there watching Josie and the Pussycats for hours and hours, and I loved Josie. So it was super, super cool to see them combining Archie and Josie, and I was like, that is really, really cool, and I really like all three of their characters. I don't know the third one's name. Maybe it was mentioned, maybe I'm just dumb, I don't know, but I know Josie and Valerie, and I don't know the third one, but I think they are all like super cool and super pretty and super talented. And I'm not sure how you say her name, Madeleine Petsch. I'm just gonna call her Madeleine because I know how to say her first name. Her acting, I'm in love with it. Like, everything about Cheryl's like super like, I don't want to say bipolar, but she puts on this facade where she's this mean girl, but deep down you don't know what's going on at home with her, and you kind of find out more about that with Jason, like Jason's murder and everything about that. So I think it's really cool to see both sides of her, and I think Madeline did a beautiful job showing both sides of that and showing how vulnerable Cheryl really, really is, and showing like what she actually feels down inside. Also, either side of her, the bitch side or the like regular, like sweet girl deep down, both sides are done beautifully, and it's just so good. Also, what the heck? Ew. Sorry. I have this little thing I got at Comic-Con, and I got it last year, which I probably should get rid of it because it's a drink. Yeah, it looks gross now, and I'm not going to show you a picture of that. Continuing on. Jughead is my personal favorite character. I think I relate to him a lot, not just because he's Cole Sprouse and I love him, but Jughead is super closed off. He's super, what's the word, introverted, and he just minds his own business. He knows what he wants, he does what he does, but he also has a lot going on. He lives in the drive-in theater. His dad is a Southside Serpent. His mom moved away with his sister Jellybean. Also weird names. Really weird names, but okay. I mean, you do you, Shell. He's gone through a lot, and I think that's super, like, relatable, especially because of how humble he stayed throughout all this. He knows who he is, he knows what he wants, he knows what's happening in his life, and he's stayed so humble throughout all this, and he's so sweet. So I personally love Jughead. I really liked Josie's speech about POC struggles in episode 3. She broke it down for Archie because Archie came in and was like, hey, can I write songs for you? I think it'd be super cool. And she was like, no. And here's why. You think you can just waltz right in here? Well, we have to work for where we are. We have to work to keep our position in these amazing music roles. And we put our everything into these songs about our struggles. My mom struggled to become mayor. She got death threats because she's a person of color. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand, is that still something that happens today. Obviously not nearly as much as back then, but it does still happen. People of color struggle, and I think that is really awesome of Josie to put out there. I just really, really loved her speech, and I really love their songs. Okay, so next I wanted to say I really, really enjoyed the mystery of Miss Grundy. For you guys who don't know, Miss Grundy is a music teacher, and she basically runs the music department. She and Archie had like a little affair over the summer, and it was on the 4th of July, which happens to be the day that Jason was killed. They were there having their little affair, and this continued throughout the school year. Archie took private lessons from Miss Grundy to help his music because he wants to go to school for music, and he loves music, etc., etc. But it turns out Miss Grundy was lying about her identity, and she had a different name. I kind of liked her. Not her, I did not like her, but I liked her story, whereas like you didn't really know exactly who she was. You didn't know anything about her. Why was she having this affair with a student? I mean, it happens, but like, why is she here? Why did she move around from school to school a lot? Why did she change her name, etc., etc.? Why is there a gun in her car? And obviously that was resolved. We found out what, but I really enjoyed that aspect of the story. I love Betty and Jughead. I love Bughead with all my heart and soul. I think they are adorable. I loved it when they got together. I really liked how the show kind of focused on like Veronica and Archie and everything that has to do with their side of the story. And then on the side there was Jug and Betty doing their little investigations. which I really like the way they work together. They work together really well, and I think I just really love their little investigations. So I really like Archie and his friends when they helped Fred with his construction company. I thought that was really, really cute. I really love the character development on Alice Cooper. She's insane. And we'll get into that later, but more toward halfway, a little more than halfway, she kicked Hal Cooper out, her husband, because Hal is even crazier than Alice and wanted to get rid of Polly, Betty's sister's baby. So Alice actually had the character development of actually changing her mind and really wanting this child to be born and really wanting Polly back in her life, which I think is super sweet. Really good character development there. I love how throughout the series there's this comparison between Archie and Jason. They're both redheads, they're both jocks, captains of the football team. Well, Archie turned it down, but still he was offered, and the Blossoms throughout the whole series are like, oh my god, you're so much like Jason, you two are so much alike and all this. So I really love how they kind of did that comparison. I really love FP's character, Jughead's dad. I think even though he's struggling, he really is trying to be a decent father. And he does love Jughead, and I really like his character overall. I love all the mysteries of Alice Cooper. It's mentioned, FP says to her, once a snake, you can't like shed your skin or whatever. So that gives you the clue. Maybe she was a Southside Serpent when she was younger. And there's all these mysteries about her that you don't know. You don't know her past. You don't know what her childhood was like. And I really hope they explore that in season 2. So when I watch it, obviously it's already out, but I might watch it for a second review, or try to. I stopped the first time, but I hope we get to learn a bit more about Alice. I just love Cole Sprouse. Going back to Cole Sprouse, I love his acting through all of this. He does a phenomenal job in this entire show. In my opinion, I think he really, really was a good choice for Jughead's character and for that part. I love Smithers. Smithers is Veronica and Hermione Lodge's butler. I think he's just a sweet bean, and he's always there, and he loves Veronica, and he loves Hermione, and he does what he can, and he's always a genuine guy. I love Smithers. And I love the ending a lot of season 1. I am not going to say who the killer is, because I've done a little spoilers here and there, but I don't want to majorly spoil the entire show for anyone watching who was curious about this and just like didn't want me to spoil it. I'm not spoiling the end, but I really, really liked the end. I thought it was really, really good. Really tied it all together. And on that note, I just wanted to mention, it came to my mind, 2 things. Mr. Blossom is not a natural redhead. What? I really thought that was cool. It was just like, whoa, that's interesting. Why would he try to hide that? So I thought that was cool. And the thing I love, I think, most about this entire thing is that this whole series, this whole season is centered around Jason Blossom, the murder of Jason Blossom, who he is as a person. This whole season based on Jason Blossom, and not once does he speak a word. He does not speak at all throughout the entire season, which I think is so cool. It's all based around him, it's all about Jason, but he does not speak one word. And I think that is really cool. So I just want to go through quickly my dislikes. There's not many of them, but first I want to say the relationship between Cheryl and Jason feels really weird, and I've looked online about this, and a lot of people agree. Now, I know Madeline has debunked any theories about that. They're just really close. But it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. I'm just saying. Betty's mom is absolutely bonkers, and I wrote that toward the beginning of the series, and turns out both of her parents are. In my opinion, Archie looks much older than a high schooler. I mean, obviously they all look much older. They aren't in high school, but Archie looks older than the rest of them, and I think it's a little weird. Dark Betty in episode 3 I do like the change of character. I thought that was really, really cool, but I thought it went way too far, and honestly, I kind of cringed a little bit throughout that. It kind of came out of nowhere and then went way too far. I don't understand why they would give Jason's number and jersey from the football team to someone else and not retire it. He's dead. He's dead. Wouldn't they retire it out of respect? I can't be the only one who asks these questions, but it's fine, I guess. It's just weird. I mean, later on, Archie gives the jersey to the Blossoms out of respect, which I appreciate, but why would the coach not retire it? That's kind of messed up. I'm a real life stickler, so this is all events. These are all events that could totally happen in real life, but all this misfortune would not happen this quickly and this close together in real life. I think maybe if they kind of separated the drama a little bit more, it'd be more true to real life. I don't know if that's what they were aiming for, but that's just how I look at it. Betty's attempt at Jughead's birthday. I didn't like that. I thought it was a really sweet gesture. I thought it was cringy. Cringy for me, because obviously it's not what he wanted, and she knows Jug really well by now, and she should know he's not the kind of person that wants that. And even though she knew halfway through planning and stuff, like, you might not like this, she went through with it anyway, which, the whole thing made me cringe. I don't like Veronica and Archie. I might like it later on, not a huge fan of it. I really liked Valerie and Archie. I really liked their relationship. I feel like Varchie kind of like, was like, bang, like, I don't know, it was theirs kind of since the beginning, but it was weird. I don't like it. That's all my dislikes. Not that many, just like I told you. Overall, 100% would recommend Riverdale Season 1. I love Season 1 with all my heart. I think if you were to watch Season 1 and not continue on with the series, there would be some questions, some loose ends, but you could watch Season 1 and probably be satisfied with it. So I genuinely really enjoyed Season 1, and that's probably something I'll always keep coming back to, is Season 1 of Riverdale. I love it. I just love it. So I 100% recommend it to you. So again, before we close up this video, these are my opinions. I'm sorry if you don't agree with them, but I had a lot of fun doing this review. And the demigod shout out of the day is Pipes McLean. Thank you so much for recommending Riverdale to me. And leave a like if you want to see a Season 2 review. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!